Hi, Art Hambrook here from MSA. Today's July the 5th, 2019. Little update for the past week. So DFO published their counts to June the 30th, and you can actually go onto our website. There's a link at the bottom of the page that takes you right directly to the DFO counts if you want to take a look at them. But I'm just looking here for Millerton, for the Southwest Miramichi. The number of salmon this year is 23 compared to 31 last year. Pretty close. And normally at this time of the year there would be 30 odd salmon there. So we're pretty well on target. For grills, this year there's 38 compared to 21. And remember last year was a terrible grills year. But normally those numbers should be in the hundreds. So even at 38, the grills numbers are not great. As we move to the northwest, it's not as good. So we only have 8 salmon so far this year compared to 24. Historically, the number of salmon would be in the 20s. Grills is only 18 compared to 65 last year. And normally we would have in the hundreds of grills. So grills are not great. When we switch over to the barriers that the province operates, at the Dungarvan for salmon, we have 26 salmon this year compared to 18 last year. Normally they would have 40 some by this time. And for grills they have 5 compared to 9 last year. Again, not good. Normally they would have 70 some grills historically for this time of the year. And on the northwest, at the northwest barrier, the number of salmon is 16 compared to 17 last year. But it should be 60 some fish. Grills is 8 this year compared to 7 last year, but there should be 50 some grills there by now. Grills not looking good, even salmon not looking good so far on the northwest. Part of that, DFO is also putting transmitters on to track fish's movements, finding out which tributaries they're going up to. So they have about 30 put on now. Any fish that has a transmitter also has a numbered Carlin tag. So what they would ask, if you catch a fish like that, please leave the transmitter and tag on. But if you have your phone with your camera, you could take a picture of it. And if you send them a picture, your name goes into the NASCO journal. So not a lot of fish yet, but actually the water conditions have been so good, the temperatures are good, levels are good, that the catches have been pretty fair. And I hear reports of people getting shut out and not seeing any fish, and others are having great fishing. As a matter of fact, I talked to a gentleman that now lives in Florida, fishing here a long time. He said that on Wednesday he caught a 30-pound salmon, which is the largest salmon he ever caught in his life. So some people are having some luck. So this past week we finished up our fry stocking program. So that program consists of incubating the eggs, and then when they hatch out, we wait till they're ready to start feeding. And we want to feed them for a little bit, not to put them out as unfed fry, because they have no reserves. So we want to feed them for a week or two, build up a little bit of reserve, so when we put them in the wild, they have a few days to spread out, find their place, and get into their food supply. And this is as close to wild fish as you can get. So we don't keep them in our hatchery for long periods of time. So this past week, we did a little over 500,000 fry. Over 200,000 went to the Little Southwest, and over 200,000 to the Northwest Miramichi. And those lower ends of the river usually have the lowest densities, so that's why we wanted to kind of boost that lower production area. Contrary to some people's belief, there's a lot of small grills around. I've heard rumors that they said they came from the hatchery, which is not true at all. The only adult fish that we've ever stocked has been into the Northwest Mill Stream as part of the cast program, and that was only 20 pairs, and they were big fish. So these small grills that you're seeing have nothing to do with us, but at least they're salmon. Our activity coming up right away is the Salmon Classic. It's the 14th year for this event, and this year we have 18 anglers participating from the U.S., other provinces in Canada, and New Brunswickers as well. And we build this as an introduction to salmon angling on the Miramichi. So what we want to do is take you around. We get some private waters donated and we use some public waters as well. But you'll never fish the same pool twice. We keep rotating you through the 3 days that you're here. And it gives you a taste of the Miramichi, and a lot of people that do come for the first time usually will end up coming back, and then they have an idea of what river they like to fish in. Some people like fishing in the big river, some people like fishing in smaller rivers. So we give them that variety, and then they can decide for themselves. So that takes place next week. Weather conditions are supposed to be fairly good. We're in a heat spell right now, but that is supposed to subside. And next week, highs are in the low 20s and down to 12, 13 at night. So the water temperatures should be good. Stay tuned. We'll give you another little update next week.